Welcome to Great Talking Entertainment. I'm your host, KJ, and this is the podcast where we review movies and TV shows from all your favorite superheroes, including Marvel Comics and DC Comics and much more. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment official channel, and definitely smash some thumbs up. And always leave a comment on all my reviews, please, to help this channel grow. Let's get it in, baby. Now, as we continue on for Moon Knight Episode 5 review, and this is a spoiler, so like I always say, if you have not seen any of these Marvel shows on Disney Plus, go watch that, then come back, listen to my review, and definitely leave me some thumbs up and your MCU theories in the comments, or just show some love in the comments. That's all I want. So, you've been warned. Now, in Episode 5, it gave us a wild ride while connecting Moon Knight to the MCU movies even more with lots of heavy Easter eggs, including a way to bring back certain Marvel characters if they choose to, of course. And I'm talking about the ones that are dead and they can bring them back to life in an extreme way. And that's what I think. And this also, definitely, this episode gives us a tear jerker, heartwarming moment where it brings tears to your eyes, because I love the way they handled the mental issues and personality disorder type with this episode. And yes, it was very dark, but I just like the way Disney and Marvel handled this, and the way they did this was really cool. And this episode also gives us more of a backstory to Steven and Mark's childhood. And I just, as a whole, I think this is a great episode. Just like episode 4, episode 5 definitely felt like a MCU cinematic universe film that you would see in theaters. This one definitely did too. Episode 5 and episode 4 definitely felt like a Marvel movie, basically. And I think I think with those two episodes, including this one, this is definitely connected to like Doctor Strange. This is definitely going to be connected to uh, Thor: Love and Thunder and Wakanda Forever, which comes out next year, I believe. This is where definitely why I like this episode. So let's talk about a little bit more into it. When I was saying about how this episode is definitely connected to the Marvel films more, even more now. Obviously, it was, but they, from episode 1 through 3, it had little hints, kind of just glared over it. It kind of, they just, made it sound like they're in the same present, in the same Earth, in the same timeline wise. If you went by Spider-Man No Way Home, Hawkeye, Loki, and all that, it you knew it fit right in the timeline. But to me, this definitely episode 5 and including episode 4 definitely made it more obvious that this was definitely connected to the MCU. And what I mean by that was the afterlife, as Mark and Steven find out that they're on a boat that's taking them to the afterlife. Find out it's connected to the afterlife with the Black Panther in Wakanda. And because if you think about the Black Panther is an Egyptian god as well, and which is also means it's connected to the soul world where Tony Stark, Gamora, Thanos has been there, Black Widow, they all been there. They've been in the soul world, or still in the soul world, and this definitely connects it. So what that means is that there is a afterlife world within the MCU. These like, when you look at the Egyptian gods, they're above what, like, the god Thor's father, Thor's brother, Thor's mother, and so forth and so forth. Even Zeus. These gods are above them in a way. And this to me just open up another world, but staying within the MCU. So to me, this tells me that there's a possibility that Marvel's gonna one day, whatever phase they choose, that there'll be like a Marvel's films where they're doing like the Egyptian gods. They're doing like, maybe they'll do a film for Thor's dad, Odin. You know, they could. I mean, this is opening. This would definitely expand the MCU in a way that we didn't even think they would go that far, but it looks like they are, and I can see why, just because of the success of Doctor Strange, Thor, Guardian of the Galaxy, and even though the Internals is not like a favorite, but the Internals movie, it just shows that, hey, they're willing to do these type of films to keep the Marvel Cinematic Universe alive, because just with other things. Which this brings up the question, can they bring back MCU characters that are dead? And one of my theory is this is a way to bring back Black Panther, aka T'Challa, just because I know in the film that Black Panther did not die. He just got snapped away, but the actor Chad Boswick, he passed away due to cancer. Kind of changed the game of how they were going to do things. And the one thing I think is this is a way to bring him back, but with a different actor, of course. And I believe, like, I think they'll address this obviously in Wakanda Forever film, but this is a way to indicate, like, they may find a way to say, okay, here's Black Panther. Yes, it's not Chad Boswick. It's Black Panther. It's T'Challa, and this is a way. I think that if Steve and Mark, all they have to do is just fix the things, like before they get to the afterlife, because they're on a boat, an Egyptian boat, and obviously their hearts got snatched out, kind of like a Vampire Diaries ways, but that's here or there, right? But and she put and it's on a scale on a scale of the Egyptian Nubius, and all they have to do is just straighten out some stuff, and they could come back to the, from being dead or shot, whatever, however they're gonna do this, right? And that leads to believe me that this is they're going to be their one of their key answers to bring back, the Black Panther, aka a different actor, basically. As far as like Iron Man, I don't believe they would go that route. If they really wanted Iron Man back, I think they would do the multiverse of madness type way with Doctor Strange. Black Widow, same thing. I just don't think those particular actors who portray those characters are coming back. I don't think they want to, because of how much it would cost in contract to have those particular actors play those characters. Low-key, no, just because they have him back alive. He's just stuck in the TVA. No, it's not the Loki that got killed and choked out by Thanos. So I think this is, and I can't think of any Marvel characters right now, but this is definitely the one way I think they could bring back Black Panther. I think this is the one thing they put out there, and I think this would be one way that could make sense to the casual movie audience who may watch this in theaters or just wait till obviously on Disney Plus. So it's here and there with that. Now, but let's get back into this episode. So they go back and give us some more childhood depth of like Mark and Steve. And apparently this is how it goes. Steve is not an actual person. Steven, I should say, Steven is a made up persona that Mark gave himself during the abuse of that his mother gave him, physically and mentally, And the reason why is when Mark and his brother were children, they went and played in a cave in Chicago. If I never heard of a cave in Chicago, but that's here or there. And they go in this cave and they're like, "Oh, mom told us not to go in there when it's raining." And they went in the cave while it was raining because the cave was floating full of water. And of course, the little brother gets stuck and drowns and passes away. And obviously, the mom loses her mental health and blames her other son, Mark, and abuses him and treats him like crap throughout his whole childhood. And it drives him insane where he has a personality disorder. And it got really dark, but I love the way how Disney and Marvel are handling that type of topic, especially in a superhero film. I think it's really cool, and I think a lot of people could relate to Moon Knight. I just think, man, that's neat. But what I think this explains is always thought it was his fault. But I think in this episode they show that Mark has to get through this. Mark has to realize it's not his fault. He was just a kid. That could have happened to anybody, any type of situation. And then in between that, like heartwarming, tears coming out your eyes moment, every time like Mark had to confront a memory, even Steven, they would go back and Arthur would be like their therapist and they're in the office. But there was a part where I think Jake Lockley, I think he showed up when they did that thing where you should never leave sharp objects around your patients, especially in that type of mental health, or they might shank you. And I think Jake Lockley was trying to stab Arthur, and eventually, I hope the next episode they introduce him to the MCU, which would be cool. Another thing, I thought interested. I know how let's go back to his childhood a little bit. How his brother, passed away drowning, which it sucks for because in the comic books his brother becomes like an evil version of a Moon Knight. But I'm not saying that they couldn't bring him back to life. Like we didn't see the body, so maybe there's a way to bring him back to life. In a way, I'm not sure. We know that Mark's mother has passed away, and so right now I wouldn't know how they would do it, and I just can't see them doing that. But that'd be so cool if. But with the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, who said that Mark's little brother in a different universe, in a different Earth, could have lived and became the evil version of a Moon Knight. Like, yeah, like Carnage. Like, there's Venom, there's Carnage, something like that. You never know. But I'm not saying that that's going to happen in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. That's what I'm not saying. But they could go that route if that's a high demand, but I'm not sure with that. But other than that, this episode, this is this is one of my favorite Marvel shows on Disney Plus. I just really like the story and I like the thrill. I didn't think you can mix a superhero format with a psychological thriller. And I know some could say, well, Batman. Yeah, but Batman's the only one, or the Watchmen. I'm talking about in Marvel. They haven't really done it like that, but I think it's really cool. This is like this episode was on point. So out of 1 out of 10, I'm giving this a 10 because this was just good. And overall, like I said, I just like everything about this story so far, and the way they connected this with all those Easter eggs. Just that this is gonna change the MCU, and I just can't wait for the next film. So, do I think the Avengers team up is coming up? No, I don't think so. But I think after they get, the third personality within the Moon Knight, I think there's some crazy, like crazy stuff's gonna happen, but that's why I like the show, because crazy stuff happens like that. You know, Loki, Wanda, Vision show, and Moon Knight are the ones who will mess with, mess with your mind. Like, you can't trust those narratives. Even in like Loki, you couldn't trust the narrative of Loki because Loki didn't know what was going on and he didn't understand how the TVA worked. So it's really like Kang the Conqueror misguiding Loki with his narrative. WandaVision, it was just Wanda on being just not trustworthy of being a narrative, and same with Moon Knight, just not a trustworthy narrative, especially when Marx turns into Steven. So, but that's why I like these shows, because you never know what you're gonna get, and definitely this show went way off the rails, but this is a good thing. This is definitely a good thing, and I can't wait for more. So I'm definitely loving this. So like I said, guys, I'm giving this a 10. So that's it. That's my review, baby. It was great. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment official channel. Definitely smash the thumbs up and show me some love in the comments, and let me know what you guys think about all the Marvel shows. Tell me, you guys, what you think about the Moon Knight series, and definitely give me all your Marvel theories. So peace out, baby.